Oh man, that was such a beautiful dive. I've actually never really dove piers before, kind of maybe just once or twice, but man, especially for photography, that was beautiful, man. Well, we did like 5 or 6 drops. I got some sick photos of you, Chris. You're gonna be stoked.
Nice.
And cut to the photos.
Good morning, everybody. I'm here in Campbell River, overlooking the Discovery Passage. It's a beautiful area. I've wanted to pull over here for a while and take a look at the view. Right now, I'm heading to Alert Bay. My wife and kids are in Bermuda, and I got one last weekend to myself. So I booked an Airbnb and I'm heading there solo. I don't want to please anybody but myself. Just gonna walk the beaches, dive for bottles, and get some much needed rest and relaxation. Need a weekend to myself. Brian is gonna meet up one day though. He crashed his drone on a sailboat. He needed someone to pick one up for him, so I'm gonna deliver and we'll go for a dive. I hope to find some really cool bottles this trip, explore the island more, check out some of the history and culture there. So it's gonna be a fun little trip. Family gets back on Thursday. Really excited to see them, but gonna take advantage of this time while I have it. I spend a lot of money on fuel and ferries. These trips are far from inexpensive. Shout out to my Patreons who help support these adventures. Well, the 3.5 hour drive went by really fast. I made it here to Port McNeill safely. Got myself a cinnamon bun, waiting for the ferry. I'm debating, do I dive first or do I beachcomb first? I guess time will tell. Alert Bay is just a former shell of what it once was. In 1972, when the salmon were plentiful, over 1,000 fishing vessels were registered to Cormorant Island. It was an economic hub and had a booming entertainment district. Those days are long gone, and it's now a slow-paced, quiet island with tourism being its hottest industry. Got myself a little buddy. Just trying to get my vehicle and stuff. Little cute cat. Like your blue eyes, little guy? I think the decision has been made. I'm going to dive. This spot right here, this old cannery, and the visibility is looking really nice. Found some bottles here already, and I'm gonna go explore further. Nice calm water, a bit windy here, but I think this bay protects the water from current, so that's good. So this is my setup for the day. I got my Immenso catch bag hooked up to my dive float, and I got that hooked to an anchor, and I'm just gonna let it sit on the bottom. And I got 2 bags to fill up. I'm just gonna take the cream of the crop. Thanks again, Van City Relics on Instagram, for helping me decide what's valuable and what's not. Growing up, and still today for that matter, one of my favorite movies to watch was The Goonies. And I know I'm not alone on that one. The idea for hunting for old lost treasure is one that gets me amped up. Buffalo scalping are underrated. Check out the colors on this guy. When diving old towns with lots of history, there's a potential of finding some really cool stuff. You don't always find something, but when you do, it makes it that much more rewarding. This right here is the elusive silver spotted scalping. I was pretty blown away when I saw this guy checking out my catch bag. It's moments like this that keep me dreaming about the ocean at night. Although it was only for a small moment of time, I feel like this little guy and I had a connection. I don't take experiences like this one for granted, as I know for the 7.75 billion humans on planet Earth, I'm one of the few who get to capture a moment like this. The GoPro does a lousy job of filming up close, but this fish is truly stunning. The fins are almost translucent in areas, and the sail on its head is something else. Mother Nature is fascinating. Alright, time to move along. Dive on mine enemies. I dove around the cannery, but also checked out below it. It looks like somebody made a big mistake at one point in time. I was finding some more oil lamp bottles, but nothing overly special. A quick Google search revealed that there are 35 crab species in British Columbia. I was actually expecting that number to be higher, but impressive nonetheless. I contemplated cooking up this guy, but I wasn't sure what the Airbnb was going to be like yet, so this guy gets to live to see another day. Great scalping are equally as underrated. If I was a crab, I think I'd be a red rock. The pickings were pretty slim this time around. I must have gotten lucky on the first attempt. I still found the odd keeper, like this massive glass jug. I found this little cute and curious pinpoint gunnel staring at me from the weeds. Although they resemble an eel, they are classified as a fish. I thought I found a decent sized Dungeness crab, but looks can be deceiving while underwater wearing a mask. Turns out it was a female anyway. But that did lead me to this embossed Old Colony bottle that was in excellent condition. Well, I didn't find exactly what I was looking for, but the visibility was really nice, and I saw some neat wildlife at buffalo sculpin. That guy was really big. A couple great sculpin, and a silver spotted sculpin. It's my first time seeing one of those. They look very similar to the sailfin sculpin, but that guy was super curious. He was looking for me, coming right up to me, swimming around, which was awesome. I found a few nice bottles, some not so old, some maybe a little bit older, but nothing like last time from the 1800s with the applied tops. I found this big old, I don't know what you call that, quart bottle. Probably gonna clean that up and slowly fill it with beach glass that I found. So it'll look good. Found a couple nice green ones that aren't that old, but have some cool algae growing on the top. I just like that contrast, the green and the pink, looks really nice. I found this one that says painkiller on the side of it, Davis, vegetable. I don't know why it would say vegetable, but obviously medicine of some sort, little medicine bottle. Found a bunch of these smaller blue Vicks bottles. They must be fairly common. I don't know if they're worth keeping, but I'll keep them for now anyways. I'm gonna have to hit up Van City Relics, ask him the history on some of these. I'm sure he'll know without me having to do mountains and mountains of research. Oh yeah, and I found some of these Old Colony bottles. They're all embossed, and Van City Relics told me it was worth keeping them. So now it's time to head to the beach. I'm all done diving for the day. A little tired now. Gonna walk around, do some beachcombing. It's nice doing things on my own schedule. I don't have my wife or kids to be home for. I love them with all my heart, and I feel guilty when I'm gone all day. So no guilt right now, it's great. Beachcombing is my favorite pastime. The only problem is time passes way too quickly, but I get to clear my mind, relax, and almost get into a meditative state. Just staring down at the ground, looking for glass. I can spend hours upon hours doing this. It's funny, when I started freediving, all I wanted to do was spearfish. I go with a group and we'd hit the water and dive a rockfish conservation area or off season, and you know, I had fun in the water, but I always wanted my spear gun with me. The more I get in the water, you know, my attitude's kind of shifted. Spearfishing nowadays always seems to be an afterthought. I love catching fish and filling my freezer. I always feel proud when I get to eat food that I've caught, but at the same time, it's not my main focus. I know there's a lot of people that watch my channel solely for the spearfishing side of things, but I really try to do a blended mix of it all. Bit of treasure hunting, bit of freediving, bit of on the beach stuff, and also spearfishing is still a big part of my channel. I'm gonna be grabbing my gun pretty soon and really putting in some work towards the end of the season. Yeah, don't worry for the ones that are here for the spearfishing. It's gonna happen sooner than later. I gotta stock up my freezer for the winter time, which unfortunately is really not that far away. This summer got a delayed start. It's almost August. September, October, and boom, fishing seasons end in November, at least on the outside waters. Later that evening, I continued to take in the nature and man-made beauty of the island. I checked out the century-old Namkus burial grounds, which were rather breathtaking. The amazing hand-carved totem poles are really a sight to see. If you visit this site, please show respect, obey the signage, and only view from the road. Cormorant Island is also home to the largest totem pole on Earth, but I'll have to visit that one next time. Alert Bay was once the largest commercial fishing town on the central coastline. However, overfishing catastrophically depleted salmon stocks, and clear-cut logging along every stream destroyed precious spawning beds. The amazing salmon runs of the Namkus River are now just a small trickle. Just like the salmon stocks in the river, the surrounding industry also collapsed. If boats could talk, I'm sure these vessels would have some stories to share. Just woke up here. It's a beautiful morning. Brian's going to meet me this afternoon. He's going to sail over from Port McNeill. I'm here at the Ecological Reserve on Cormorant Island. Just going to walk this, check it out. Apparently it's very scenic. It's hard to find, so if you ever do come here, you want to go to the campground, and there's a trail that leads in from the campground. So I'm going to scope this out, maybe hit up a beach if I have time, and then Brian and I will get in the water. This place didn't look that exciting from the pictures I found on Google, but everyone in the reviews was saying, hey, get down there and check it out. I'm really happy I did. This wetland is really beautiful. These petrified trees sticking out of the bog. It looks like something from another planet. I would definitely come here again and show my family. I read in the news the other day that dragonflies, many different species, are becoming extinct due to wetland habitat loss, so nice to see this one flourishing. Sad, because dragonflies are like my favorite bug. Guess what you would call downtown Alert Bay. Here at the beach, just sipping a coffee, really good coffee at the shop down here on the waterfront. The visibility here is looking crystal clear, really, really nice. Brian's not going to meet up till a bit later. He's got some errands to run in Port McNeill. So I'm going to go for a quick dip here. I was looking around on Google Maps, and from the satellite view, it looks like there's a structure in the water just below the surface. This spot, as well to my knowledge, is the location of the oldest cannery that was here in the late 1800s. So if I'm gonna find any cool bottles, this will be the spot. So I'm gonna finish my coffee here, get some more relaxation, slow my heart rate down a bit with the caffeine, and get wet. Cormorant Island is known as the home of the killer whale. I think it's the home of the buffalo sculpin too. This gold band soda bottle was manufactured by a short-lived soda company out of Vancouver. Same with this intricate and unique looking Lion's soda bottle. I had a seal swim by me. I only saw it out of the corner of my eye. But when I looked down, I saw this guy peeking up from the kelp. Thanks, seal. I didn't find anything cool today. No aqua blue bottles, no plat tops, but this guy right here, cold band drinks. I tried to look that up on the internet, couldn't find any information at all, so to be determined on that guy. I found one of these, the Lion's bottle. This one's pretty iconic. There's a soda company from the 1930s here in BC, Vancouver specifically. And this one also stood out. Mission Beverages, another BC bottle, which makes it kind of cool. And last but not least, let's see, this is the find of the day. This massive, massive Dungeness crab. One of the biggest ones I've found this year. This guy must be pushing like 7 inches. But yeah, he's a beast. I'm gonna see if Sue wants that. Drop it off at her place. If she doesn't want it, Brian might chow down. I'll eat it otherwise, but Dungeness has been kind of making my stomach turn a bit. No other crab has, just Dungies, so I don't want to ruin the rest of my trip if I developed an allergy or something. So I'll eat it if I have to, but otherwise, hand it off. Seriously, living the dream here. Just diving, beachcombing, beachcombing. I've put in a pretty solid dive there, but Brian's gonna meet up pretty quick. Just sailing over from Port McNeill, and we're gonna probably go hit up those kelp beds I was scoping out yesterday. The visibility is real nice. Probably swim to the outer kelp bed and dive around, maybe find some depth. Current can rip out there, but I feel like all that kelp kind of breaks up the water and slows it down. Brian's down there, he anchored. He's going to be ripping up the bay pretty soon. I'm going to pick him up and we're going to go dive. I'm tempted to just say, hey, let's dive here. Look at all the kelp. Probably nice anemones on these pilings. And that visibility, look at it. It's like crystal clear. What's going on, Brian?
Hey. Summertime vibes are here.
What's up, man?
See ya, man.
They're bouncing around to a bunch of different spots. We are going to hit this dock. I dove there 2 weeks ago, and yellowtail rockfish under there. We're probably going to drift over to that other dock that I was scoping out, and if we're not overly impressed, we're going to hop in the vehicle and dive the kelp bed on the south side of the island. Just won't be in the sun. It's nice to be in good viz when the sun's out. Everything just glistens. But this is a cool spot. Viz will be great. I love diving random areas no one else would bother with. A, it feeds my sense of adventure, and B, when you hit the jackpot, the rewarding feeling of accomplishment is a hard one to beat. Just like I thought, the visibility mixed with the beams of light made the conditions priceless. The bottom of the pier was roughly 10 meters, right around my neutral buoyancy. This means at depth, I will not sink, nor will I float. Hey, what's up, great scalping? Check out how I'm just hovering above the ocean floor. Diving at neutral buoyancy is my favorite thing to do while in the water. You feel completely weightless and almost like you're flying. Who needs a spaceship when you have the ocean? I just want to start this off by acknowledging that yes, I'm aware this music is overly dramatic. But hey, when in Rome. Brian said this spot felt like an aquarium, and I couldn't agree more. Diving amongst schools of rockfish is just good for the soul. For the longest time, I never realized how amazing the diving was off our coast. Hindsight is 20/20, but I wish I free dove when I was a young kid, cruising the islands of the Pacific Northwest. It pains me to think of all the sights I failed to see. I'm happy I'm able to showcase the beauty of our oceans through my YouTube channel and help inspire others to take the same plunge I have. The only regret I have about freediving is that I didn't begin my journey sooner. There were vast fields of cauliflower growing on the pilings. I didn't see any broccoli or carrots though, which was concerning. We didn't end up diving the government dock, but I'm gonna hit that up the first chance I get. I'm sure it's just as magical as this spot, and it's also 10 times the size. I'm not saying this footage isn't impressive, but in no way does it come close to doing this dive justice. Some things you just have to see for yourself. I'd take this over the tropics any day. Oh man, that was awesome. All those yellowtail like I thought, big school zone, crystal clear water, a lot of life on the pilings. We're gonna head to the South Island though, do a dive at another spot. And this is why sea otters are so crucial. Their populations are booming on northern Vancouver Island, and kelp beds are flourishing. Diving amongst these giants is something everyone should experience at least once. Freediving, scuba diving, snorkeling, who cares? Throw on a wetsuit, mask, and fins and go for it. If current sketches you out, just time it for slack. As amazing as it was to dive around all this kelp, it's not hard to think of how White Cliff Park in West Vancouver could have looked similar to this in its heyday. But oh well, I'll count my blessings and stay positive for this one. On second thought, maybe this song wasn't overly dramatic. Maybe it was just right. I'm living an amazing life, and it all started with my love for the ocean. To the ocean, I salute you.
There's too much kelp! There's too much kelp! I take it back! There is such thing as too much kelp. I take it back. There is such thing as too much kelp. Yeah, buddy. Coming aboard. Stoked to have you, Chris.
Oh, what a night. What a night. That crab that I got, I ended up trading Sue for a pink salmon that she caught today. So we got salmon for dinner, hopped on Brian's little swellfish inflatable, and now we're on his boat. Beautiful evening, rocking back and forth with the tide. And we're gonna cook up that salmon, get a nice meal ready, and mow down. Oh man, so peaceful, can't wait to watch the sun go down. I was gonna do this trip solo, but nice to have Brian here. Worked out really well.
Just trying to think how the wrapping is gonna go here. This is crazy! The kelp, it's so kelpy. Oh my god. Got this beautiful salmon from a friend of Chris's. And we got the first half on raft and kelp, and we got the second half here with some beautiful sweet sugar spice. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh dude, yes. Oh god, yes. This is gonna be so cool. Oh man, I wonder if it's ready. Ooh, so ready. Look at that. Ah, Pacific fresh salmon. 2 ways. Here we go. It doesn't look pretty, but boy, this is magic fish. Oh.
Wrapping the salmon in kelp turned out to be the perfect way to cook it up. Just like peas in a pod, it was meant to be. The kelp locked in all the moisture and flavor. So good.
Who's a good boy? That's a good, healthy portion for a good old boy.
Brian, you're a great dive buddy, chef, host, and person. It's nothing but smiles and laughter in your company. Thanks for inviting me onto your boat, and congrats on getting her in the water. We were blessed with a super chill night. We took in the scenery, had some great conversations, and eventually parted ways. Until next time, Brian, cheers. Good morning, it's 5:15 right now, a.m., and I'm still in Alert Bay. I opted to take the 6:40 ferry departing here for Port McNeill. I'm gonna drive for a couple hours. I'm meeting up with Malik, and we're gonna do some spearfishing. I was gonna spend the morning here diving, but it's supposed to be pushing 30 degrees Celsius, and I hate sitting in a vehicle when it's really nice out. It's like a pet peeve of mine. So I figured, hey, wake up early, make that long drive out when the temperatures are down, get in the water, do my dive, and then finish up maybe around 12:30. It's funny how things work out sometimes. You know, Brian just so happened to be going by Alert Bay. When I pulled up, I found that Dungeness crab and traded it for pink salmon, and Brian and I had that awesome meal last night. I was gonna message Malik, and then he messaged me last night saying, hey, do you want to dive on Tuesday? And just so happened I was gonna message him within 20 minutes of him getting in contact with me, asking if he wanted to dive. Worked out perfectly. So I just got here a little bit early, so I'm waiting for Malik. We're hitting this radar slack also by chance, so got lucky there as well. Visibility looked good. Wind's up, but where we're diving is protected. I brought my gun. I think I'm gonna try to spearfish. Might just film, I don't know. If I see something worth harvesting, I'll pull the trigger. Otherwise, just get some good footage, but better have it, not need it not have it. My wife and kids get back on Thursday. Super excited to see them. Next weekend, got a couple plans in the works. Might do some spearfishing off the west coast, and there's also the Vancouver Island freediving, snorkeling, and spearfishing Facebook group meetup. I do that every year. It's gonna be my 3rd year going, so I think we got a crew hopping in the van, driving out. Gonna be a fun time. Malik met up right on time and in good spirits. We geared up and jumped in. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Yep, I'm sure you were. You can't pass an opportunity like this up. We were only seeing undersized lingcod and small rockfish at first, so I opted not to load my gun. I'm pretty sure I dove with this Sunstar back in February. Same place and same size. There were no shortage of lingcod, but I'll have to look for this guy next season, as he didn't size up. I've never shot a quillback, and I'm not sure if I ever will. Their populations are not as healthy as other rockfish species, so what's the point? I saw these guys chilling on a ledge and wanted to see if they'd go for my flopper. I almost had him. I was pretty stoked to see such healthy populations. Although they were all undersized, a great sight nonetheless. Malik came up from depth with a Puget Sound King Crab. Males and females come up from depth in the wintertime and mate once the female molts. Females go back to depth, but the males hang out in the shallower water until they molt in the summertime. Your chances of finding them are much higher in the winter, but you can still get lucky throughout all months of the year. I found one too, just following Malik. This is only my second in the last 2 years. With unknown lifespans and unknown populations, it's best not to hit them hard. But a few each year seems reasonable, as there is no commercial harvest and they don't crawl into recreational fishing traps. We stashed our crabs on the rocks, but a hungry little seal was heating out our spot, so we had to bail. On the way back in, we speared a few Greenling. I've heard that Greenling make for the perfect ceviche, and I wanted to see what all the hype was about. A successful day at the grocery store. How lucky are we? What a dive that was. We both got a couple of Puget Sound King Crabs. These things are beasts too. They got an ecosystem growing on them. I see scallops in there, various anemones. So crazy that these things can harbor so much life. Yeah, I do feel bad taking them out of the ocean, but at the same time, they'll feed me and my family for a while. And if you look here, this guy's a male. Males are the only legal ones, so obviously it's a male. But just showing everybody. Such a beautiful crab. We're stoked. You got one too there, right, Malik?
Yeah.
That's yours, man.
Bad boy.
Ooh, I think you got me beat, man. Yours is a bit bigger.
Maybe by an inch or so.
Yeah, crazy, dude. Yeah, nice find.
Awesome, right? Today was a rad day, man. This is a sweet find.
Yeah, now what are we gonna do?
We're gonna cook these up, bro.
Yeah, ceviche. Greenling ceviche. Woo. Wait, Thomas, come here at Malik's. It's got a beautiful place, by the way. And we're gonna gut these crabs and cook them up. Years ago, I made a Puget Sound King Crab 101 video. If you want some more info on them, including on how to clean them, check it out. It's a bit of a mission, but just like anything, after some practice, it becomes quite easy. Plus, with the meal you're provided with after, the effort makes it all worth it. Did I mention how lucky we are? We cut up some peppers, onions, garlic, and jalapenos, and soak the Greenling in lime juice to cook the fish in the citrus acid. Oh, and don't forget salt, pepper, and cilantro. There was way too much crab for the three of us, so we both put in a quarter crab each. I brought my remainder home and vacuum sealed the meat for my wife as a welcome home present. Big thanks goes out to Diving Sports and Immenso for providing me with great equipment, Brian and Malik for the amazing dives and meals, Sue for the freshly caught pink salmon, and all my patrons for supporting the adventures. Peace and love, everybody. Until the next one.